1, 2, 3. Hear me, hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Let's see. Talk again.
A test. Can you hear me now?
Good.
Good.
All right. Oh, let's mute here. There we go. Don't need to hear double. Oh, man. Scoreboard went away. Hold on.
Scoreboard has gone away.
All right. People are enjoying your singing right now.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. It's one of those deals. I'm a man of many talents.
All right.
Or maybe I'm not talented at many things. I haven't decided. I'm not sure.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids as the visiting Marathon Red Raiders get ready to take on the Assumption Royals here this afternoon. Today's pregame show is brought to you by the Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank. You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. There are more than 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area. Make some your neighbors, your friends, and your family. Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. These two teams met on Tuesday. Assumption getting the better of the Red Raiders up in Marathon on Tuesday nights, and we can get into all that. We can get into the X's and O's and how much this game means for conference and all that stuff. But tonight, Paul, it's more than just a game. Monday night, Pittsville played their first softball game since losing one of their teammates, Lucy Vanetta. And tonight, Rob Schill, Charlie Nelson, and the coaching staff for Marathon is taking a step towards a healing process and dedicating this game to the Pittsville family.
Yeah, again, I'm trying to think. We were on air I think day after Lucy passed, or at least
2 days, I think.
A couple days after. And, we talked about how the areas, Pittsville, Port Edwards, Nakusa, Wisconsin Rapids, etc. You're different towns, different schools, but you're all one community. And when you have a loss of a 16-year-old, by all accounts, really nice young lady person, in terms of where it goes, everybody grieves. So Coach Nelson, Coach Schill, Coach Fredrickson from Marathon all went ahead and decided that they wanted to go ahead and make a dedication. So there'll be some money collected and I believe a moment of silence and just an opportunity to honor a young lady, which is, I think, just kind of a good reminder for all of us, Steve, which is, go home, hug your loved ones. Remember, we're going to be real excited about a sports game, and in the big picture of things, things that are important are really not important. So, really prioritizing the time with those you love. And, again, the other reminders, just in regards to where it goes, Lucy unfortunately passed away in a vehicle accident. So just kind of a reminder when you get behind the wheel, just be careful when you're out on the road. That's a heavy vehicle, and again, there's no accounts of speed or of any type of what have you, but all of the different factors of distracted driving and drinking driving and other motorists on the road and what have you, all can be factors. So it's one of those deals. Your commute can from there. So, but thoughts and prayers to the community of Pittsville as they heal, and to the family. And again, a classy move by two really good programs to go ahead and honor her legacy.
Yep, absolutely right. And both teams with the purple ribbons and hairs and on shoes and wherever they are going to be wearing their purple ribbons here tonight. Paul, you were up in Marathon on Tuesday night for the first meeting of these two teams. It was close early, and then Assumption was able to get over the hump a little bit later and get out to a 7-2 win.
As high-quality softball normally is, it really was a good pitcher's duel on Tuesday night, Steve. Macy Vullert started the ball game for Marathon and threw very, very well. Ari Kavanaugh came in relief, shut them down. And for Marathon, they have a freshman hurler who was very, very, very impressive. Last name is Pajetski, I hope that I'm getting that correct. I actually went to Allison and I asked specifically. So, again, if I'm not, I'm sure I'll get it wrong in the chat in terms of where it goes. But Allison threw a heck of a ball game. There were 2 errors in that particular game. that led to a 5-run inning for the Raiders, but that the Raiders committed for the Royals. But it was a very high play, a very very well played softball game, and I would envision that we're going to get another close competitive ball game. Again, we talk a lot about the Merriwood South. And the battles that are out there, and that makes sense. And speaking of the Merriwood South on the network tonight, there's another really big ball game. I don't know if you want to talk about that one at all, Steve, but another really big ball game that'll go a long way towards conference.
Yeah, Stratford and Auburndale. Stratford hosting Auburndale tonight. Auburndale hosted Stratford on Tuesday. Stratford was up 5-1 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. The Eagles scored 5 runs in the 7th inning without committing an out, and Sammy Stanton, as she did here a couple of years ago, or last year, had a walk-off base hit for Auburndale in their win over Stratford. So it's going to be a big-time game. See if Stratford can keep pace. Assumption plays Stratford, I think, the last 2 games of the regular season, conference season. So this game here and the game up in Stratford, as Paul just mentioned, will go a long way to determine how the conference season plays out.
Yeah, one interesting side thought on that is that Stratford already has a loss to Newman. We talk about how tough this conference is. So, again, no gimme tonight for Assumption. They still have to play Newman Catholic twice. No gimme there either, in terms of where it goes. But Stratford already with the 2 losses, this is mission critical for them. They're going to most likely need to win that ball game and sweep Assumption in order to go ahead and have a shot, along with the rest of the conferences. And, of course, for the Eagles, they can really go ahead and solidify their spot on top of conference with a win over Stratford.
Go through the starting lineups here for Marathon. Batting first and in the circle is Allison Pajeski. Batting second, number 19, Bridget Salber. Batting third at first base is Danica Pazek. Batting fourth and at second base is Maven Schneider. Batting fifth and at shortstop is Danica Stans. Batting sixth is Lauren Carlin. Batting seventh is Miley Hilke. Batting eighth is Ripley Skripchek. And batting ninth is number 5, Clara Kreslet for the Red Raiders.
The extra players are number 18, Danica Pashek.
Steve, I would also like to add that Kaden Spinski will be in the flex position tonight. I believe she'll be out in the right field, if I'm not mistaken, but she's playing the flex tonight. As you always have the extra dreaded DP and flex player in softball, just for those keeping book at home.
Starting lineup for Assumption, as it hasn't changed in quite a while. Batting first and at short is Anna Schooley. Batting second is Ari Kavanaugh. Batting third and behind the plate is Claire Nelson. Batting fourth and doing the pitching is Macy Vollert. Batting fifth and in center field is Lydia Smits. The DP tonight is Jess Norton. Batting seventh and in left field is Lexi Stofflet. Batting eighth and at first base is Madison Moss. And batting ninth and at third base is Delaney Hahn. And the flex is Kylie Carroll for Assumption.
Steve, we talked about the fact that this young Royal team, we had a chance to see them opening night against Sevastopol. And over the weekend, they picked up 2 very impressive victories with a win over number 1 at the time in the state, Pacelli, and then turn around and beat a ranked Division 4 team, Laconia, on their home field. And Laconia threw their number 1 pitcher in that game, too. So very, very, very impressive wins as this young Assumption Royal team continues to play better and better.
We'll turn it over here for we're going to have a quick moment of silence. We're going to have the moment of silence and then the national anthem.
Now, if you would please bow your heads for a prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, please protect both of these teams, Assumption and Marathon, as they play their hearts out tonight. At the end of the game, all the glory will be given to you. We thank you and we pray all of these things in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And now if we could please have a moment of silence in honor of Lucy Vanetta, the young lady that played softball at Pittsfield High School and lost her life in a car accident. if you were able, remove your hats. Place your hands over your hearts for the playing of the national anthem. Assumption High School would like to thank Aspirus Riverview Hospital and Clinics for providing all of their home events with the athletic training coverage. Polito's Pizza and Rocky Rococo's Pizza are offering a free slice of pizza for anyone that hits a home run. Our concession stand is offering the following goodies that you can procure at any point: hamburgers, brats, hot dogs, snacks, nachos and cheese, candy bars, pop, Gatorade, water, coffee, and hot chocolate. Soon you will see people coming around near your stand. They will be approaching you to sell you 50-50 tickets. If you win 50% of what's taken in, and the other 50% it will be given to the parents of Lucy Vanetta.
All right, welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem sung by Paul Jaglinski there.
Actually, all credit to the Marathon High School choir.
Yeah.
Those young men and women can really go ahead and belt out a tune. So that's a marathon thing, I think.
Nonetheless, we got softball here for you from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, thank you all for tuning in. It's a big-time matchup here between Assumption and Marathon here this afternoon.
Leading off for Marathon, number 15,
Allison
Pajeski.
Pajeski to lead things off here for the Red Raiders. Steve Maves alongside Paul Jaglinski once again here this afternoon from beautiful Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids.
Little windy out there again today, Steve. Despite the beautiful weather, one thing at Robinson Park is the wind is always blowing, and it looks today that it's blowing out to right field.
First offering from Macy Vollard comes in at 4:48 this afternoon. Bridget Salber awaits on deck for Marathon. Danica Pazek after that. And Vollard falls behind 2-0 to Pajeski.
So Macy, through the first, I believe, 4 innings up in Marathon the other night, I held Marathon to, I believe she was scoreless. However, Marathon had several runners on base each of the couple innings. The Royals defense did a very nice job as Ari Kavanaugh grabs the first out of the game on a routine fly ball to center field, which brings up our second hitter,
Bridget Salber.
number 19, doing the catching duties for Marathon. Bridget had a nice game on Tuesday night as well.
First offering to Bridget misses 4 ball. Can appreciate everyone tuning in. It's not looking well for games on Saturday. We got a couple of them on Zaleski Sports tomorrow, and then just cross our fingers that we're able to get some games in on Saturday for you. Some much needed rain coming this weekend, and Sunday looks just like a rainy day all day in central Wisconsin.
A great day to go ahead and stay inside and watch the NBA playoffs. I'm not sure if the Bucks or the Celtics play, but boy, did Miami last night rain the threes. My goodness.
Yeah.
No Jimmy Butler doesn't matter. Miami just finds a different gear in the playoffs.
That's going to be hit over to right field and a one-out base hit for Bridget Salber.
Did a nice job of going ahead and staying with the pitch. Vullert offered an outside fastball, and Bridget went ahead and obliged by just putting it between the hole between center or second and first base.
Danica Pozek, the first baseman for the Red Raiders. Their road black pants, red tops. Pollard steps off here and resets. Runner at first and one out. Rolls in there and Nelson saves a base.
Claire threw out two runners on Tuesday night on two excellent throws. I believe one to second, and I believe the other one was at third. Maybe both were at second, but you got to respect Claire Nelson's arm.
Going to be popped up, tough play. Kavanaugh to second for one. And that will get the second out. Pozak reaches on the fielder's choice for Maven Schneider.
Really a great job by Ari Kavanaugh staying down on that. That ball was kind of a in-between hop, and when it landed, it had a little bit of that knuckleball Chuck Knobloch spin on it. But Ari was able to field it, go to Anascula to get the lead run, 2 away, top of the first inning in a scoreless game between the Marathon Red Raiders and the Assumption Royals.
That was going to be hit foul past first. That's a deep pull there, Chuck Knobloch. That's a good pull.
I still remember, again, now since I'm going to go off on a side tangent, Chuck Knobloch is one of the most interesting individuals that you ever kind of ran into, because wasn't he the one that could not throw the ball back? Or who was the major leaguer that could not, that had such a problem throwing the ball to the pitcher?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't exactly remember who that was, but that's for whatever reason. Those the Twins and the franchises just kind of comes from there. I was watching Pawn Stars do Minneapolis last night, so the Twins were in my mind.
2-1 to Schneider. Yeah, just some Chuck Knobloch, Tony Womack. Yeah, just
Kirby Puckett, and I think 91 World Series champions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Pollard back, and it hits the corner, and it's 2-2.
Now, I may be wrong. That might be for the city of Minneapolis, their last championship of any of the 4 major sports.
The major ones, I think so.
Yes,
the
obviously
2-2 is swung on and missed.
WNBA Lynx is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Schneider goes ahead and strikes out. We'll pick that back up here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll go to commercial break. Thank you for tuning in and watching high school softball here on Zaleski Sports.
What sets Nakusa Port Edward State Bank apart from other Wisconsin banks far beyond rates and financial services? You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank has over 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area, local small and mid-sized businesses, while proudly supporting so many community projects over the years. They're your neighbors, your friends, and you'll find them actively serving communities where we work, live, and play. Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You couldn't possibly go through all this stuff by yourself, especially since Dad isn't as young and mobile as he used to be. I'd love to help if I had more time between work, kids, and their activities. Have you considered getting any help?
I'd love to, but I don't know who to call.
Kosho & Kosho, removal and recycling services for seniors, handicaps, and those who need help. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. From painting, landscaping, moving, chores, and more. Please give David a call at 715-323-5762.
Welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids, as the Royals will send up Schooley, Kavanaugh, and Nelson 1, 2, and 3 to start here for Assumption. As, again, some score updates. Again, no inning for Jack Weber. I would assume the first inning. The runners at the corners for Auburndale. Jack Weber still trying to figure out his scoreboard issue. But glad you're joining us. Teammates alongside Paul Jaglinski here from Wisconsin Rapids. A lot of games on the network tonight throughout the area. Anna Schooley to lead things off here. Reminder that today's pregame show was brought to you by Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank. You can expect an experience filled with individualized personal care unique to you and your business. Their more than 100 years of serving the Wisconsin Rapids area makes them your neighbors, your friends, and your family. Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, strong enough to protect you, large enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. Appreciate Rob Sigler over at the Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank. Bajeski gets Schooley to knuckle it over to second, and Schneider makes the running catch. One pitch, one out.
So on Tuesday night, Anna Schooley was a one-woman wrecking crew up in Marathon, where she was on base 3 times and really caused havoc. Maven Schneider at second base had 3 exceptional catches in that particular ball game to keep the Raiders off the path. So once again, those two picking right back up where they left off.
Smacked foul past Rob Schill in the first base coach's box. 0-1 to Ari Kavanaugh. Claire Nelson waits on deck, and then Macy Vollerts. For any size job when you need equipment, look to Wood Street Rentals, offering a great variety of rental equipment to help you get the job done with delivery service to any job site. That's Wood Street Rentals. Pajeski hits the outside. Again, she had 10 strikeouts on Tuesday night against the Royals in the 7-2 loss.
I can go ahead and vouch. I went to Wood Street Rentals for my first rental item. Is
Kavanaugh over to Schneider. That was a nice play over there again by Maven, and there's 2 away.
Really a smooth fielding second baseman. Maven Schneider, of course, daughter of Jeff Schneider, the Marathon Girls high school basketball coach, and one of the stars of Hard Knocks or Zaleski Knocks or whatever the marathon season that you kind of followed it was this year in terms of where it goes. But 2 quick outs here for the Royals in the bottom of the first inning, and that brings up number 1 catcher Claire Nelson.
Nelson swung on a miss at the first pitch. A lot going on tonight in the world of sports. As Nelson swings and misses again, 0-2. NFL draft, of course, tonight starts tonight. And then with that, a lot of baseball games played earlier this afternoon. Brewers got a series split with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 4 games in Pittsburgh. Brewers lost the first 2, won the last 2. And then this weekend they host the almighty New York Yankees in Milwaukee. So
I'll tell you what, that sweep over the Cardinals was a big series for the Brewers. It just anytime you can go ahead and have early victories over the Cardinals, it feels like a really good thing.
Yep, haven't faced Craig Counsell and the Cubs yet. That'll be a very heated series, and it will probably be for as long as Craig Counsell is in Chicago. The 1-2. Check swing foul.
If I'm not mistaken, Cody Bellinger for the Cubs has broken ribs or tore some rib cartilage. So I believe the Brewers will not have to face him. Of course, one of the more productive Cubs the last couple of years. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see in terms of where it goes.
The 1-2 to Nelson. Misses low and away. Evens it up at 2-2. Good battle here for Claire Nelson after Schooley and Kavanaugh saw a total of 4 pitches.
You know, again, Claire Nelson's been maybe the most consistent hitter for the Royals this year. Not only hitting it hard, but with 2 strikes, really does a nice job of shortening up.
2-2 lines it to left center, and that one's going to get all the way to the wall. A 2-out double for Claire Nelson. And right on cue, as Paul was mentioning, good battle and good at bat with 2 outs, or with 2 strikes. Nicely done by Claire.
Yeah, Claire Nelson went ahead and did a nice job of going ahead and staying down on that pitch, and then just driving it to that left center field, opposite field for her. It brings up Macy Vollert with an opportunity to give the Royals a lead with 2 outs.
Trying to help her cause here with a runner at second and 2 outs. Down rolls in there, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, we're mentioning Minneapolis St. Paul with Minnesota Wild haven't been very good in a while, and obviously the Vikings and the Timberwolves were one of the worst organizations in all of basketball for a long time, and now they're hopefully going to be on the up and up, and the Twins haven't really been much since they won the World Series 30 years ago. So
obviously the Minnesota Lynx have been very successful in the WNBA.
2-0 to Vollert. Grounds it over to short, and it's bobbled again. And everybody's going to be safe, and Claire Nelson never stopped, and she will score. Macy Vollert will head to second base. And Royals get on the board here in the first inning.
So a nice piece of aggressive base running by Claire Nelson. A good job of Coach Nelson at third base making a read. And unfortunately for the Raiders, just like what you saw on Tuesday night, an error or a ball that a play that certainly could have been made that would have got them out of the inning goes ahead and results in a run. And now Macy with 2 outs, and Lydia Schmitz at the plate.
With the error at short, and it's 1-0 to Lydia Schmitz. Yeah, the Minnesota Lynx. I was in college in Minneapolis when the Lynx were dominant, and it was a rockin' city at that point. That was a lot of fun. 1-0 is going to be lined foul and
Steve,
out of play.
Even building on that, although it's not a professional team, even the Gophers have not, been anywhere near as good as what they were since our very own Janelle McCarville from Spasha has been over there. So been a little bit of a rough go. But that being stated, it's one of those deals where U.S. Bank Stadium Field is a really nice venue. And they did host the Big Ten tournament, so they got a chance to see Caitlin Clark. So it could have been worse.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to Lydia Schmitz. Runner at second and 2 outs.
Lydia, the lone senior here on this Royals team.
Pajeski fires home. Going to be grounded over to Schneider, bobbled, and to first, and got her by a half a step, and that'll end the Royals' first inning. A run on a hit, there was an error, and there was one left on. We've played an inning complete. It's Assumption 1, Marathon nothing. You're watching high school softball, Zaleski Sports.
Business owners share so many challenges, but there's one challenge that has an easy solution. Branding your business with creative graphics and a plethora of effective print marketing options is as easy as Quality Plus Printing. With over 30 years of marketing expertise and a track record of happy customers, you can trust in Quality Plus Printing to develop the perfect brand for you. As a business owner, you have enough to focus on. Give yourself a break and trust in Quality Plus Printing on 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids, or find us at qpprinting.com. That's qpprinting.com.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Leading off for Marathon, number 3, shortstop Danica Stouts.
Danica Stouts to lead things off, followed by Lauren Carlin and Miley Hilke for the Red Raiders. Royals get one in the first off of a double by Nelson, and then she scores on the error by Stouts, who is now at the plate.
For those Royal fans at home that are keeping tabs, Stratford in the bottom of the first inning has taken an early lead 1-0 over Auburndale.
Fires a strike in there. I think those games against Stratford might be on the 7th and 9th, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to check that out. And that one's fouled out of play, 0-2 for Assumption. I think those are their last conference games, because then that same weekend, they host Aquinas on Friday, then the Royal Rumble, and then I think they go to Nakusa to round out the regular season right at the end of the year.
There's got to be right around that time frame, Steve. It's also got to be when seeding is done for the playoffs as well. So I assume that those last couple conference games will count, and then that following week, that seeds will already be set. But not really quite sure. Marathon should be is a Division 4 come seeding or playoff time. We always like to talk about that here on Zaleski Sports.
Popped up. Nelson. No, it'll fall out of play. Make sure everybody's all right out here, and it remains 1-2.
Marathon, of course, in that same sectional with Auburndale, yep. Stratford, Edgar, and then they play the winner of the Southwest, Blair Taylor, Cochrane Fountain City, whoever comes out of that side of it. Bangor, I think, are all traditional powers down there.
1-2. Fouled off. the end of the bat, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good battle here to start the second inning. Just past 5 o'clock here in central Wisconsin. CMA's Paul J. Glinski, Zaleski Sports from Robinson Park on this picture-perfect afternoon. 2-2 now to Staus.
The real question, Steve, is are the Packers going to stay put at 25? Are they moving up or down? What's the official Steve Mays prediction?
No clue. The 2-2 misses high, 3-2.
Those broadcasting courses are really paying off, Monty. Killer insights. So.
3-2 is fouled again. Good battle here.
The consensus in the booth is that they're going to trade. For a bag of donuts and $3 of popcorn. So.
Probably be pretty certain that they don't take a quarterback in the first round.
Every time you say that, Steve.
The 3-2, a good battle won by Staus. And she'll take first base on the walk. Great battle there by Danica.
I think Macy had her. It was at least 1 ball and 2 strikes, if not no balls and 2 strikes. So really a nice job battling back through. Fouled off a couple pitches to put him in play. So Marathon with the leadoff runner on. We'll see if Lauren goes ahead and lays down a bunt.
Runner at first and nobody out. Doesn't square. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Give the Packers about 12 years, and then they'll draft another quarterback to follow Jordan Love, and then just start the whole cycle over again. So,
one is to hope that a person can be that fortunate, but we will see.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed, and it's 0-2 to Carlin.
You have to admit they would be the talk of the NFL again tomorrow if, for whatever reason, they happen to go ahead and let's just say Michael Penix Jr. happens to drop to them. I kind of like it. It's a spicy hot take. Dun 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 dun.
0-2 here to Carlin. Fouled straight back, and it remains 0-2. Yeah, I mean the frustrating thing is that if you are a Packer fan and you're looking forward to the draft, they picked 25th, I think. And so then, I mean, that's 3.5 hours into it, and then you get there, and then they trade back to the next day, and then you lose 3.5 hours. That was going to be popped up, tough play, and Schooley will make the catch behind third base for the first out.
And Schooley doing a nice job of taking control there. In left field and at third base, there are 2 freshmen. Anna's like, I got this as a junior, going ahead and taking a look at it. You know, the other 2 other side thoughts on that. One, by the time the Packers pick at 25, I'll be long asleep, so I'll read about it in the morning. And 2, I'm not sure if you followed it all, but the comments that Jerry Jones made this week about leaves falling from trees and whether or not he's going to extend Dak Prescott or not, were pretty bizarre world. Maybe we'll have to get some insights from our final boss, Jason Zaleski, as he's a big Cowboy fan. But again, I think the most interesting portion of the NFL draft to me are the trades. I think you really find out who has needs and who feels how about their team based on who gets aggressive tonight.
The 1-0 from Voller to Hilke is swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. In SCS or Parman or Homer, it's where you want to live, work, and play all throughout Central Wisconsin. No matter where you live, all throughout Central Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley and the Fox Valley. No matter where you live, look to SC Swiderski to make you feel right at home. Visit scswiderski.com for more. The 1-1 is swung on and missed, and her runs 1-2. Ripley Skripchek waits on deck.
2 nice-looking cuts by Helke. Has been a little tardy on the fastball both times, but really a nice-looking swing.
The 1-2. And got her looking on the high outside corner. And there's the second strikeout. Surf Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout. Call Jamie Wenzel a Surf Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Surf Pro like it never even happened.
Macy Vollert must be an artist because she's painting corners tonight, Steve. So.
First offering here to Ripley Skripchek. First one misses high for a ball. There was a time, and still am, but every weekend, usually starting on Fridays, so late Thursday nights into Friday on YouTube. It's going to be high chopper back to Vollert. We'll get into my YouTube viewing here in just a moment. But no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on via the walk. We played an inning and a half. It is 1-0 Assumption. Back after this, Zaleski Sports.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids. It's right before the break was telling you about you were mentioning painting the corners that Macy Voller was doing, and every weekend, usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless it's a special holiday, then they usually have more. But as Jess Norton will lead things off for but usually on YouTube, on the Bob Ross YouTube page, they always have episode after episode of Bob Ross, and it's very enjoyable to listen to Bob talk and paint. It's a lot of fun. As Jess Norton, who has really come into her own here this as a DP for Assumption, and had some big-time timely hits this year as a freshman so far.
I would say if you talk to Coach Nelson and Coach Schill that Jess Norton has been one of the pleasant surprises for the Royals. She's done a really nice job as she's consistently been the designated player and just done a really nice job solidifying that 6th spot in the lineup.
Norton, Stofflet, and Moss here for Assumption in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That's going to be hit foul back to the screen, and it's 1-2. I don't know if you saw, but they were talking, obviously, Caleb Williams, very likely number 1 overall pick. But did you see the renderings that the Bears put out yesterday of their new stadium?
Ooh, it's impressive. I know Packer fans were excited that they were going to own an indoor and an outdoor stadium now, so that was good. But way out in the suburbs as well, right? It's no longer going to be downtown.
Well, I think they moved it to the lakeside now.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very
it's
nice.
that one's foul at the plate by Norton, but it's very cookie cutter, a.k.a. very what's the Raiders stadium? Alliance or
Yep.
or whatever?
Yep.
Looks a lot like that, and a lot like what the Tennessee Titans' new stadium is going to look like. So we'll see how it all pans out. It's not just a stadium. They have, obviously, as most new stadiums do, they have these massive acreages of stuff, a couple baseball fields and all this stuff lakeside in Chicago. As Maven Schneider again has recorded all 4 outs for Marathon here in this one so far.
If I'm not mistaken, the number I heard off of that team was $2.5 trillion to go ahead and build that stadium. It was a significant number.
I don't know if it was trillion.
Trillion, maybe it was
billion.
Whatever,
Yeah.
a billion. Did I say trillion? My apologies. Yeah, that trillion would be a lot of money. $1 trillion.
Yeah.
$2.5 billion. That's a ridiculous amount of money.
So I think, again, I may be wrong, and people can, as Lexi Stofflet looks at a strike, I think the overall price tag is 4.6, and then the city of Chicago, the people of Chicago, taxpayers have to pitch in $2.3 billion of it. So that might be one thing that causes a hiccup to get this thing going.
Well, they were talking about the fact if they build the Bears Stadium that it's very possible the White Sox, who are not having a good season, speaking of major market teams not having a good season, are potentially looking to move to Nashville. And hey, balls hit Maven Schneider, who records the out.
5 in a row for Maven.
I was going to say 5 up, 5 down, but that's not necessarily the case. But again, 5 putouts for Maven Schneider. Again, number 14 for the Raiders, having a very nice game over at second base.
And now Madison Moss. Yeah, I mean, it's just been I think they won the World Series in 2005, the White Sox, and it's been disastrous for the last 20 years for Chicago. Naming rights have changed at the stadium like 20 times, and yeah, they just spend a lot of money and don't get very good results.
Well, and, that's a stadium. They had the shooting in the stadium a couple of years ago. Just several really unusual things have happened out for the White Sox. But peaks and valleys. That being stated, one of those deals, Chicago's already got one baseball team. They don't need a second. But fun for the Bears anyway to look at it. Again, Caleb Williams expected to be that top overall pick.
The 1-1, Moss swings and misses. And Nashville is growing so fast. I mean, obviously the Titans are going to be getting a new stadium. The Predators are always competitive. It's a city that's growing very, very quickly. The 1-2 to Moss is swung on a miss, and that'll end our second inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the second. We've played 2 completes. 1-0 Assumption. We'll be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Wisconsin River Orthopedics has been providing comprehensive care to Wood County for over 50 years. We offer urgent care for orthopedic pain and injuries, joint replacement, along with focused sports medicine care from evaluation to rehabilitation. Our facilities offer a spacious rehab center to get you back to doing what you love most, along with the latest technology in our ambulatory surgery center and a comfortable open MRI. Stop living with pain and limited range in your joints. Turn to Wisconsin River Orthopedics and get back to the way life is meant to be.
Chili Implement, located just west of Marshfield in Chili, is your Kubota dealer in central Wisconsin. Big or small, Chili Implement has all the best equipment waiting for you. From farm tractors to lawn care, plus work and have fun in a Kubota side-by-side. Choose Chili Implement for your parts and service too. Chili Implement, open Monday through Saturday to serve you and 24/7 online at chiliimplement.com.
Clara Cresslett to lead things off here in the visitor half of the third inning. Reminder, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Staub Construction. Staub Construction is a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems here in the Midwest. Staub Construction, a 100% employee-owned company. 9-1-2 duo for Marathon, sorry.
On the network, Columbus Catholic is up 1-0 over Neilsville Granton in softball, bottom of the first inning. Stratford continues to have that 1-0 lead over Auburndale in the bottom of the second inning. Let's check in on DC Everest and Wausau West as well here, Steve. 4-1 Wausau West baseball over DC Everest, and that is in the bottom of the first inning. That looks like that's being played over DC Everest Stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Way behind it, and Cresslett is behind 1-2. From what I have heard, from a source, will not reveal, but Wichita State commits. This is just high. Wichita State commit Nate Langben likely done pitching for the rest of his high school career and Legion career come this spring and fall, or spring and summer. That one's going to be lined over to Kavanaugh. Line drive rocket over to first, and there's one away.
One of the unsung, great play by Kavanaugh there, but one of the unsung heroes for this particular squad this year, Steve, has been the development of Madison Moss over at first base. You move an all-state caliber player and Anna Schooley off of first base to shortstop. Obviously, you lose Kristen Casey behind the plate, so Claire Nelson comes and takes that role. There was a lot of questions for the Royals on who is going to step in and play first base this year, but Madison Moss has stepped in and done a terrific job over at one.
And Schooley tosses over to Moss, and there's 2 up and 2 down here in the third inning, pardon me. Quickly 2 away now for Bridget Selber, who singled her last time up.
Bridget Selber.
And Nate Langben, one of the best pitchers in the area. DC Everest right-hander, and don't get a lot of players from Central Wisconsin going to colleges like Wichita State to go play baseball. Now it's going to be grounded over to Kavanaugh. 3 up, 3 down here in the third. Nicely done by Vollert. And that'll end our third inning. Look at that. We played 2.5. 1-0 Assumption. 9-1-2 coming up for the Royals. Back after this. Zaleski Sports.
The Sports Den, located on Marshfield's sunny south side since 1975. The Sports Den has the area's best selection of outdoor equipment. Find top brands of snowshoes, cross-country and downhill skis, snowboards, swimming equipment, skateboards, and more. The Sports Den has a full-service bike repair center along with top bike brands, Specialized, Trek, and others. The Sports Den is Central Wisconsin's fat bike headquarters. Visit the Sports Den in Marshfield Monday through Saturday and thesportsden.net.
Welcome. How may we help you?
New windows, new garage, new car, swimming pool, tuition. We're not talking scholarship here. And a vacation.
Our affordable home equity line of credit may be just what you need.
Medical expenses, braces for our youngest. How about the dog? Roof. How about the roof? And did I mention how long I wanted that vacation to be?
Your money, your life. How may we help you?
9-1-2 due up here for the Royals in the home half of the third inning. Hahn, Scully, Kavanaugh for Assumption. A reminder that Metallico, since 2005, has been one of North America's largest secondary aluminum billet producers, offering hundreds of jobs to the Wisconsin Rapids area. Your next career is just a caller's stop away. Learn more about working at Metallico at metallico.com or stop in to apply at their plant in Wisconsin Rapids.
Steve, I don't know if it's breaking news or not, but it's breaking news to me, so I'm going to report it as so. Chucky Hepburn officially a Louisville Cardinal.
And AJ Storr, right? That's his name. He's going to Kansas, I think. First offering to Hahn is good for a strike. Connor Sejan, a Nebraska Cornhusker.
And we just talked about it. Marcus DeMoss, former Mr. Wisconsin basketball, of course, played at Illinois. This past season was not granted his fifth year of eligibility, so he will be heading to the NBA.
The 0-1 to Hahn is high for a ball. You seem to forget that he also was a Saluki as well.
I didn't want to steal your thunder. As a proud Saluki, I did not want to steal your thunder there.
The 1-1 to Hahn misses outside, 2-1. Yeah, there's a whole lot of mess down in Saluki land with coaches and trying to find their way as well. 2-1 to Hahn, misses outside, 3-1.
You know, Steve, it'll be interesting to see is not to get into the NIL topic, but it'll be interesting to see if you ultimately see programs like Kansas and Louisville and that have the money that, no pun intended, if the rich get richer.
The 3-1. Hahn swings and misses, and it's 3-2. That was breaking news yesterday from the WIAA. The voting down at NIL in high school sports so far this year anyway. 3-2. Hahn dribbles it over to Schneider. What a surprise! And there's one away.
On both sides, Steve, it has been a busy night for the second base.
Yeah.
And as both Kavanaugh and Schneider are playing really good defensive softball and recording a majority of the outs.
And now back to the top of the order, Nana Scully, who popped out to Schneider over at second to start the game for the Royals. Nobody on, one away here in the bottom of the third inning from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. First one to Scully, hits the outside corner, and it's 0-1.
Sounds like a pretty good night to be a college quarterback, as it sounds like a majority of the top overall picks in the draft will be quarterbacks.
The 0-1. Scully fouls it at the plate, 0-2. Solaris customers have enjoyed the same low price for 5 years running. No tricks, no gimmicks, no kidding. Packages starting at $49.99 a month. Visit Solaris.net today and learn more. Nobody on, one away. Scully behind, 0-2. Pajeski wheels and deals. This is just misses the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Pops out of the mid of Salber. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gets the call from the dugout area. Does Pajeski and Salber. 1-2 coming home. Line foul and out of play. Made a Custom Apparel in Stevens Point provides quality decorated apparel from hometown schools and summer teams to corporate and team outings, along with promotional items and sporting goods. It's Made a Custom Apparel, Business Park, Stevens Point.
exciting day over in for UWGB as they go ahead and welcome back their new coach, Kayla Karras.
1-2 popped up. Foul territory going to drift out of play. Wisconsin River Orthopedics encourages you to stop living with the pain. Come see them and let's get you back to living your life to the fullest. For joint pain, rehabilitation, urgent care, and more, come to Wisconsin River Orthopedics in Wisconsin Rapids. As well as local star, I guess, or local, very good local athlete. And Juliana we met, right? Or no?
Well, so Juliana we met was out at Lehigh last year.
She transferred back.
She's got 4 years of eligibility. She transferred back to Green Bay.
Yep.
Her sister, Christina, we met, of course, up at Lakeland. Going to be a senior this year. Of course, one of the better high school basketball players in the area. Do we consider Lakeland the area? We're going to call it the area for today.
It's in one of the conferences we cover. So.
There you go. We'll call it the area.
The 1-2. Schooley hits her on the front leg. And being down 0-2, Anna takes first base on a hit by pitch, not a walk. Good goodness, Steve. There we go.
Anyway, just finishing the thoughts. So Christina following her sister Juliana to Green Bay. Coach Kayla also picking up a couple nice 2026 commits from Oostburg from that regard. So an exciting day for Green Bay. So with one out here in the bottom of the third inning, Royals up 1-0, Anna Schooley on base. We'll see if Coach Nelson goes in and puts her into motion trying to swipe second base.
And there she goes. Throw down is high and into center field, and Schooley will take third base.
You know, Steve, it seems like we talk about Anna's speed and athleticism each game and what a dangerous weapon she is, but it's such a luxury for Coach Nelson and Coach Hill to have that when Anna gets on, whether she walks, gets hit by pitch, what have you, has a single, she typically will end up at second base on that very next pitch. So Schooley with now at third base. 1 ball, no strikes. Kavanaugh at the plate. Royals up 1-0, trying to build on that lead here in the bottom of the third.
That's going to be lifted. Look out into the parking lot area. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sparhawk Trucking has become one of the area's leading trucking companies, reliably hauling for over 44 years. Come work for the best and learn more. SparhawkTrucking.com. Runner at third and 1 out.
Does Bob and Tom still exist in the morning?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Kavanaugh bunts it at the plate and fouls. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Kavanaugh.
Whenever you say .com, I always think of BobZany.com, baby, which is from the old Bob and Tom show in the morning.
I think it's still the Bob and Tom show. I just don't think Bob and Tom are on the show. So
this is true. I think actually what we, based on the group chats and the positive feedback, I think we can have a Steve and Paul show in the morning is what I think we could be getting to here, Steve, but we'll see.
1-2 to Kavanaugh. Misses high for a ball. Runs even at 2-2 now. Claire Nelson awaits on deck for the Royals. Assumption back in action next Monday. From what I saw, they host Wild Rose on Monday here at Robinson Park.
Monday, Donna.
The 2-2. Could be lookout, straight back, and it remains 2-2.
So both Kavanaugh and Schooley in back-to-back at-bats here doing a really good job of fighting off pitches once they've gotten to 2 strike and extending this count.
Pajeski looking at the wristband, gets the call from the dugout.
Boy, talk about young pitching talent in the Marywood South for a second, Steve.
2-2. Swung on a miss, and a big strikeout. Down goes Kavanaugh, and there's 2 away.
Obviously, the talented freshman here for Marathon Pajeski. For the Royals, Voller's a junior. Kavanaugh's a sophomore. And speaking of talented, over in Auburndale.
Yeah, Griesbach.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, just arms all around the Marywood South.
Claire Nelson, good rip and fouls it off. 0-1. Lainey Pankratz from Stratford is very talented. Haven't seen Newman. Don't know who Newman's pitcher is, but
coach's daughter, Jankowski.
Okay.
She throws a nice ball too.
Yep. The 0-1 here to Nelson. Big swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Marathon trying to get out of this jam here with no damage done. Claire Nelson trying to come through with another big 2-strike hit. With a runner at third and 2 outs. Pajeski comes set. Lifted up and out of play. Again, Nelson fighting it off. 0-2. Macy Vollard awaits on deck. if needed for the Royals.
An important at bat here for Claire Nelson, trying to extend that run. Pajelski doing a nice job going ahead and keeping Anna at third base so far.
Nelson, left-handed hitter. The 0-2. Rolls in there. Good job behind the plate by Selber, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whether you need residential, commercial, or industrial electrical work, you can rely on Econ Electric, where every job is done safe, done right, on time, every time. That's Econ Electric, Wisconsin Rapids.
Lots of positive and negative reviews on them, Steve.
The 1-2. Nelson able to hold off, and it runs even at 2-2.
What I heard is best about their company is they charge just right. So
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is where she lined a double into left center field the last at bat. The 2-2. Pajeski, and that was going to be fouled off of Nelson. Remains even, and a little tingling in the hand that time for Claire Nelson.
Claire Nelson is so dangerous with 2 strikes, Steve. You can just see she shortens up her swing, makes sure that ball gets put in play, times it out well. Claire having an outstanding season for the Royals. The Missouri Western State Division II Griffith commit.
The 2-2. Going to be lined to third. Wow. That's going to be an RBI base hit, and an RBI double there for Claire Nelson. My goodness, as Cresslet just lucky to be okay over there at third base.
I'm not going to lie to you. That ball may have actually gone through Cresslet's glove. That was just a hard hit line drive. That's one of the reasons why playing third. And one of the interesting things about Cresslet is that she does not wear a face mask, whereas you see a lot of the other girls wear it. And boy, after going ahead and after going ahead and watching that play, she might want to consider having one.
Now Vollard at the plate, hits it up the middle, and they will send Nelson an RBI base hit for Macy Vollard. Macy will take second, and the Royals add another one here in the third inning.
Couple nice pieces of hitting with 2 outs by both Nelson and Vollard to extend this to a 3-0 margin lead for the Royals here in the bottom of the third inning.
Number 8, center fielder
Now Lydia Smits ground out to Schneider back in the first inning. Royals with 2 runs here with 2 outs. Fowler stands at second. Pajeski wheels and deals. Smith's trying to work out of a tough night at the plate on Tuesday. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and able to get contact in the first inning. But to nobody's surprise, Maven Schneider recorded the out. The 1-0 is swung out and missed, 1-1. She's got 6 of the 8 recorded outs so far for Marathon. Does Maven Schneider over at second base.
You know, again, Steve, both runs or both innings that Marathon has scored, that Assumption has scored a run, there was an opportunity with the ball put in play. Granted, the play at third was a very hard hit ball, not a routine play by any way, shape, or form. But Marathon could have been out of this. This could still be a scoreless game, very, very easy, kind of back and forth in terms of where it goes. And I think that's both encouraging and frustrating, I would think, for this Raiders team. See if we can get you a couple scores from around the network as there's a conference on the mound.
Quality Plus Printing in Wisconsin Rapids can help your business with all of your printing service needs, banners, labels, postcards, programs, and so much more, all with quality custom work, quick turnaround times, and great customer service. Visit qpprinting.com. Quality Plus Printing, getting your words out in Wisconsin Rapids.
Over in Stratford, it is 2-1 now. Auburn Hill has got the lead over Stratford. See if I can check a few other ones for you.
Runner at second and 2 outs here, a 3-1 count to Lydia Smiths. Pajeski fires home. And walks Smiths with Jess Norton, the dangerous bat, at the plate.
Luxembourg Casco is leading Wapaka 12-1 in the top of the fourth inning.
Woofda.
Number 25, the designated player, Jess Norton.
Now Jess Norton, who grounded out to Schneider back in the second inning.
In baseball, Hudson has got a 5-0 lead in the 4th inning over Eau Claire Memorial.
Hudson very, very good again this year. Norton tried to check her swing and did not go around, 1-0. Yeah, the Raiders, always a very dangerous baseball team. 2 on, 2 out here for Jess Norton. Swing and a miss just behind it, and it's 1-1.
So you talked about, the importance of, or the early season impact of Jess Norton. Here again, she finds herself in a big spot, in that 6th spot in the lineup. Runners on 1st and 2nd, bottom of the 3rd inning, 2 outs. Royals up 3-0 over the Raiders, but an opportunity here with a base hit by Jess to really go ahead and extend this to a big inning.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Norton. 2 on, 2 out. See if the Royals can come up with another 2-strike, 2-out hit. That one rolls in there. Vollard is going to try for 3rd, and she's going to be in there. That one gets past, bobbled out there by Staus, and Vollard will take the run.
So once again, aggressive base running by the Royals and taking advantage of fielding miscues on the errant throw to 3rd. I'm not sure. We'll just say errant throw to 3rd. And Macy Vollard hustling around to extend this lead to 4-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd inning.
And that one misses high for a ball. That one count runs full now. So Vollard with a really good read to take 3rd on the pass ball, and then the throw by Salber didn't go very far past 3rd base, and Coach Nelson let her run and score. 3-2. He popped up right field. Over on it is Sapinski, and she's going to make the catch to end the 3rd inning. Royals score 3 on 2 hits. There was a walk, there was hit by pitch, and a couple of errors. We have played 3 complete. It's 4-0 Assumption. Watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts Learning Garden with 2 convenient central Wisconsin locations. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
Little Sprouts has been around for almost 7 years here in Auburndale. In Rudolph, we've been open for about 2.5. We serve here in Auburndale. We have 6 weeks old up until 12-year-olds. And then in Rudolph, we have 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds. The biggest thing that we do with them is we have play-based learning so that they learn through play with each other. And social skills are a huge part of what we do with them.
Find Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Buy 3 Goodyear tires and 1 is free has been extended at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Plus, get up to $200 back on 4 installed Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. Buy 3 and 1 is free in March at Sherrill Tire and Auto. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Top of the 4th inning we go here in Wisconsin Rapids, 4-0 Assumption.
Welcome back to Robinson Park here. Top of 4 runs by Assumption. 3 in that last inning. Really some nice 2-strike hitting to get that started by Annie Schooley and Ari Kavanaugh. And then some aggressive base running led to the run production. So Assumption finds themselves in kind of a similar pattern that they found that they've been playing ball as of recently, finding a way to go ahead and scratch out just enough runs to go ahead and grab an early lead, and now in a spot where they can rely on their pitching between Vollert and Kavanaugh, just kind of maintaining and protecting that lead.
A ball and a strike here to Danica Pazek for Marathon. A ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the 4th. We hit over to Schooley. Tough play. Slow roller to first. And gets her by a step and a half, and there's 1 away.
Outstanding hustle down the line by Pasak there.
Batting number 14, second baseman.
Now Maven Schneider, strikeout victim back in the 1st.
Yeah, Pasak really made that play close on a slow hit ball to Schooley. Obviously, Anna fielded it and used that big arm across the way, but good hustle there.
Mutual of Wausau Insurance is protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. You just saw it there. Delaney Hahn over at third base. It was a chopped foul ball, something that we didn't see 3 weeks ago. She hustled over to touch it in foul territory, which, again, learning process for this young Royals team.
Steve, if we get a chance to talk to Coach Schiller, Coach Nelson afterwards, one of the questions that we might want to ask them is that how is the growth plan coming along? Are they on track? Are they not? We talk a lot about the last couple of years. Obviously, you're coming off that state championship team. You bring back all of your starters, all the returning players last year. So it's a little bit of a different feel compared to this year. So many new faces in so many new places, really going ahead and watching this team come together and develop is a lot of fun.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Popped up, straight back, and it's going to whack a car. I just know it. I'm parked over that way, so I'm okay for right now. We'll see.
Steve rooting for it to land on Len Schill's car, but that's neither here nor there in terms of how that goes. But yeah, one of the unique things about high school baseball, softball is that you park close enough to the field so that you hope you can get there, but not so close that you hope that a ball hits your hits your car.
I don't show up late. I show up and try and figure out a way to park next to the softball girls that don't really know the spacing very well in the first row of the parking lot. And got her looking on the outside corner. There's a Jamie Wenzel strikeout, called Jamie Wenzel, Serve Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Again, Macy Vullert doing a really nice job of going ahead and working that outside corner. Caught Schneider looking on a really tough pitch. Well placed by Vullert.
Again, I'm not picking on this group of Assumption softball players because the last couple of years they've all been the same. I mean, one parks here, one parks in a spot where you can't park another car. So it's just the way it goes.
It sounds a little judgy, Steve. I'm not going to lie.
The 0-1 popped up to Schooley, and that'll end our 4th inning. Time to get up and stretch here in Wisconsin Rapids. Halfway through it, we have played 3.5. It is Assumption 4, Marathon nothing. You're watching high school softball on Zaleski Sports.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.
Welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Royals lead the Red Raiders of Marathon 4-0. Stofflin, Moss, and Hahn here in the home half of the 4th inning as Pajeski's still out there, who is out there for the Red Raiders. Lexi Stofflin swings and misses at 1 low and away. Stofflet grounded out to Schneider. What a surprise back in the 2nd inning.
Mavis Schneider playing second base for the Raiders tonight has had a busy night and has been very solid on the field.
That one's going to be ripped to right center field, and Stofflet is going to get in there with a leadoff double for the Assumption Royals. And a big fist pump from Rob Schill.
Stofflet did a nice job of going ahead and staying home. And Stoffel did a really nice job of going ahead and staying home and driving a ball to right center field for a double.
See if Coach Nelson is going to bring in a runner. Sure looks like it. And
actually, I think he's going to bring in a pinch hitter.
Yep, there's Jordan Jaglinski coming to hit with nobody out.
So with nobody out and the pinch hitter coming in, you'd expect Jake Linsky to try to lay down a bunt.
Confidence level?
We will see. The expectation is to execute. So we'll see if Coach Nelson has a call, and if that's what she tries to go ahead and do.
Runner at second and nobody out. Squares the bunt. Now it's going to be fouled off the plate, and it's 0-1.
Jake Linsky with a late square, but did go ahead and try to lay that bunt down to try to go ahead and advance that runner. Big run difference being up by 5 versus 4. We'll see again if Jake Linsky turns the square and if she can get that bunt down.
Delaney Hahn waits on deck. Stofflet from second with nobody out. Squares the bunt, gets it down. The throw to first is not in time. It's dropped at first. Jake Linsky will reach. And there's runners at the corners and nobody out.
Jake Linsky doing exactly what was asked of her, comes in the ball game. Most importantly, gets that bunt down to advance the runner and uses their speed to go ahead and hustle, make a close play down the first base. Now the question will be for Coach Nelson is, will he go ahead and put her in motion to take that extra base? And if he does, will Marathon go ahead and throw down to give Stoffel a chance to make the read or not? So for Coach Nelson and Coach Hill, Steve, this is a good opportunity with 2 young runners on base to go ahead and work on the craft.
Runners at the corners and nobody out. There goes Jake Linsky. No throw. And again, it's pretty softball 101 that if you have a runner at third and less than 2 outs, even with 2 outs, as Coach will come in and have a conversation here. But with 2 outs or with runners at the corners, softball 101 would tell you just to take the base and see what happens here as meeting in the circle for the Red Raiders. I'll give us time to hear from our friends at Fleet Farm. Pick up all your pets' favorites from Fleet Farm. Find everything from food and treats to toys and health products under one roof. From all the brands you trust, dogs or cats, they've got you covered. Shop your pets' everyday essentials at Fleet Farm.
Gotta love the man's mall, Steve. I've said it before. I'll say it again till the day I die. If Fleet Farm doesn't sell it, you don't need it.
Some quick warm-up action for the Red Raiders. And we didn't get substitute numbers here, so we will try and find.
How about a developing situation from Stratford where Stratford has come back to tie the ball game 2-2. It looks like Stratford is batting and has got a runner on first base. I do not have an inning for you, unfortunately.
Riley Werner warming up quickly for the Red Raiders. The runners at second and third, and nobody out for Delaney Hahn.
Hahn, Schooley, Kavanaugh coming up for the Royals.
Infield plays in, and Hahn swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Anna Schooley waits on deck. Infield in for the Red Raiders. Majeski kicks and fires. Hahn bloops this one right over Schneider's head. Stofflet will score. They will hold Jaglinski at third. Hahn will take second. And the Royals add another one. That's what the issue is when you draw in the infield, is that just bloop it over where the second baseman was supposed to be, and Royals take advantage of it, and Hahn takes second base.
You know, Steve, softball is such a weird game. You hit a hard hit line drive at the center fielder, and it's an out. You go ahead and you hit a bloop over the second baseman's head. It turns into a double as they give Anna Schooley the intentional pass. Obviously, Marathon not only respecting Anna with the bat, but setting up the force, which now puts Ari Kavanaugh at the plate here. Bottom of the fourth inning, bases full of Royals. Really, with Kavanaugh, Nelson, and Volt coming up, Assumption with a chance to have a real big inning and perhaps position themselves to, well, we won't jump ahead in terms of where it goes, but Assumption in a really good spot here to go ahead and have a big inning.
Bases loaded and nobody out as Anna Schooley was intentionally walked. The 0-1. Kavanaugh bounces this one over to third. Staus goes home. They'll get the out at home. And a nice play there by Danica Staus, and Kavanaugh will reach on the fielder's choice, one away.
So a nice play by Staus at short. Again, that's a spot where the infield in benefited the Red Raiders. One down, base is still full of Royals, and up comes hot-hitting Claire Nelson.
A couple of doubles today for Claire.
Would you say that she's double trouble even though she's number one?
That's going to be fouled at the plates. The advantage right now for Assumption is they have fantastic speed on the base paths. If anything on the green, or if anything gets on the green, could mean a lot of runs. Hahn, Schooley, Kavanaugh, the runners. Infield still plays in.
Great minds think alike to that. Steve, you beat me to it.
The 0-1. We lifted up and out of play, and this is prime Claire Nelson time now. She was 2 balls and 2 strikes her last 2 at-bats as Warner continues to warm up for the Red Raiders. Vollert awaits on deck.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 5-0. Assumption leads Marathon here at Robinson Park.
1 across in the inning. Looking for more for Assumption, the 0-2. Just missed a bit high and maybe a tad outside, and it's 1-2.
Claire with eyes like an eagle, going ahead and taking that ball. Really a nice miss for the Marathon pitcher there as well. Allison going ahead and certainly you don't want to offer Claire anything too good, especially when you're up with no balls.
1-2, bloop to left, tough play. It's going to drift, foul, and it will remain 1-2. Get Culligan Water for only $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Visit Sterling Culligan Water at CulliganH20.com. That's CulliganH, the number 20.com.
Hey, Culligan, man.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Claire Nelson.
We got a Chuck Knobloch, a Hey Culligan, man. We're going old school tonight, Steve.
The 1-2. Nelson right back up the middle. That's going to score at least 1. They're going to send Schooley, and a 2 RBI base hit for Claire Nelson.
Claire Nelson, I believe, 3 for 3 on the evening and has knocked in at least 1 run each of the at-bats. So 3 RBIs, but just a really nice piece of hitting once again by Claire. And I believe we're going to get a substitute pitcher that's going to come out. So, Steve, we're going to take a commercial break?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You're watching high school sports here on Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Bauer & Feind has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Bauer & Feind Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
Why work for Staub Construction?
Everybody around you is just family.
Everybody seems to bond together and get along good, and
they, I believe, truly care about their employees.
Staub has a great benefits package.
Staub is an employee-owned company that puts a large emphasis on work-life balance.
And everybody wants to see everybody succeed. It's a good place to work.
Join the team at Staub Construction. Apply now at staubco.com.
Pitching change here for Marathon. Riley Werner comes in to throw for the Red Raiders. And the pitcher, Allison Pajeski, moves over to third. And Clara Kreslet is then out for the Red Raiders. Macy Vollard with 2 on and 1 out. Nelson and Kavanaugh, the runners for Assumption, here in the still in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Marathon Assumption looking to go ahead and continue to build on this particular lead.
Vollard drives this one to left field, and it's going to be caught. Kavanaugh is going to try and take up. The throw is on the mark. She's going to be safe. Wow, what a nice throw out there by Miley Hilke for Marathon. The tag just a little bit late, but a nice rip and a nice catch out there by Miley, and a fantastic throw to third base.
Smiley Helke, one of the more athletic players on the Marathon basketball team as well as the softball team, did a great job catching a ball right on the warning track and then set her feet and threw a strike to third base. Ari Kavanaugh is very fast, made a good read on the tag-up, but Helke's arm made that a bang-bang play at third base. That's one of the more impressive high school softball plays from both a running and a throw that I think you'll see, that I think you'll just see in general, Steve.
Yeah, that was a great play by Helke, and that was going to be grounded right back to Werner, and that'll end the fourth inning. Royals score 3. We've played 4. It is 7-0 Assumption. Back after this, Selesky Sports.
Hey everybody, Nat over at Wheeler Chevrolet GMC, and I am standing in our all-new Express Lane. Open now, no appointment necessary. Stop on in and get things like oil changes, filters, quick lubes. No appointment necessary. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Shai from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
All right, to the fifth inning we go. Carlin, Helke, and Skripchek for the Red Raiders. Reminder that tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling. As the weather warms up, look to Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling. Here in Wisconsin Rapids, they got more than 100 years of making your home and business comfortable. Call Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling today.
As customary for Assumption in non-double headers, Vollert threw the first 4 innings and once again held the Raiders to no runs, a very impressive outing. Now she'll take over the duties at second base as into the game at pitcher comes number 24, Ari Kavanaugh, to see if she can go ahead and close this out for the Royals.
Carlin at the plate. The first offering from Kavanaugh is whipped in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. That's exactly what they did on Tuesday. Macy went 4, and Ari went the last 3 to pick up to double team the win, and it's a 1-1. Miley Hilke awaits on deck for the Red Raiders. Carlin pop out to Scully her first time up. 1-1 foul at the plate.
Such a luxury for Coach Schill and Coach Nelson to have the depth of arms that they have available to them.
Ari wheels and deals home the 1-2. Going to be weekly hits to the circle. Kavanaugh to first off the glove of Moss, and she thought that she was out to Carlin.
So an interesting play there where ball was weakly hit. Kavanaugh went ahead and made a hard throw over to first base, mishandled by Moss. But Macy, backing that play up, caught it and tagged the runner. Had she turned, what a heads-up play by Macy Vollert. That being stated, Marathon gets the leadoff run on base with Helke coming up here in the top of the 5th inning.
There's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. First base runner for Marathon since the 2nd inning.
Also, it's just so I don't get the hate in the chat, I understand the announcer's jinx. I had complimented Madison Moss on how sure-handed she'd been over at first base. It's a little bit like the missed free throw.
It's going to be backhanded by Scully. No throw anywhere, and an infield base hit.
Again, we talked a little bit about in the last inning how quick Helke is. So that ball was hit deep in the hole. So even though Anna Scully could get over there with Helke's speed, no real play on that. So now runners on first and second, top of the 5th inning. Assumption Royals 7, Marathon Red Raiders 0, but threatening here off of Kavanaugh as number 17, Ripley Skripchak, comes up for the Raiders, seeing if they can go ahead and get on the board for the first time tonight.
It's the outside corner. It's good for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Of course, prom. So many proms coming up here over the course of the next couple weeks, including this weekend at Assumption.
That one misses outside for a ball, 1-1.
But I think we split it, so it'll be $200.50. Right? Isn't that how you do 50?
Yeah. $200.50.
That one misses outside. 2 balls and a strike to Skripchek, with the pitcher Riley Werner awaiting on deck. 2 balls and a strike here. That one is good for a strike, and it's 2-2.
So again, Steve, we started the ball game for those of us just joining late here at Robinson Park with a moment of silence for the Pittsville softball player Lucy Veneta, who unfortunately lost her life in a car accident. So moment of silence, honored game tonight. Up here in the booth, they're talking about the fact that the Raider fans and the Royal fans, and then, of course, the ball clubs are they're honoring tonight in a variety of ways, including
popped up infield fly is going to be called, and there's one away.
Including the a 50-50 raffle where more than $200 was raised tonight for the Veneta family. So, again, thoughts and prayers to the Pittsville community, thoughts and prayers to Lucy's parents. It is a nice tribute here by both teams. So that brings up Riley Werner with 1 out now here in the top of the 5th inning. Still 7-0 runners on first and second base. Kavanaugh on the mound. Royals with the lead.
Top of the order due up next as Riley Werner gets her first at-bat tonight for the Red Raiders.
We were also 59 minutes away from the first pick in the NFL draft, which is expected to be Caleb Williams. I read kind of an interesting article that some GMs are a little bit skeptical of him. Apparently, Caleb Williams is a pretty eccentric fellow. From what I've been reading about, they compared him to Prince over in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Look out over there as Pajeski hopping around in the on-deck circle, and it's 1-2 now to Riley Werner.
Good thing for Allison that she has cat-like speed and reflexes as she was able to go ahead and take a look at it. Of course, one of the I don't want to say scarier things, but one of the more unusual things.
1-2 misses outside, 2-2.
In in any of the baseball, softball games is that on-deck batter being so close. You see that foul ball hit so often into the dugout or off of that batter. So
2-2. Swung on and missed, and a big strikeout there for Kavanaugh. That's a Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout. Called Jamie Wenzel a Serve Pro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro like it never even happened. Reminder as well, at Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a free quote from Kerry Van Ert, State Farm, on auto, homeowners, life insurance, renters, and more. For both Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield, find Kerry Van Ert, State Farm on Facebook. Get started today. Top of the order here for the Red Raiders. Allison Pajeski looks at a strike, and it's 0-1.
Kerry Van Ert and Caitlin Clark as a combination. How can you go wrong with State Farm, Steve?
You can't.
So Allison up at the plate for the Raiders, top of the 5th inning. So after getting the first 2 runners on with no outs, Kavanaugh has settled in, got an infield fly, a strikeout, and now has an opportunity to work her way out of this particular inning. Similar to what we saw on Tuesday, where Marathon has been able to threaten this Royals pitching staff and defense, but not so far been able to go ahead and capitalize with a big inning.
Way out in front is Pajeski, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Was it Dan Patrick that used to say, the whiff?
DP, one of the best. The 1-2 here. Fouled at the plate, remains 1-2.
You and I talked last time we did the broadcast together, Steve, that ESPN was going to come out with that 30 for 30 on Stuart Scott. And I've been doing a little bit of research on that. That really looks interesting to go ahead and take a look at it. I have read that one of the titles that is being thrown around for that is Booyah.
1-2 misses outside. Yeah, that would be perfect. As cool as the other side of the pillow too. I mean, that's.
I do like that one. That's another solid. That's another solid contribution there.
The 2-2 here from Kavanaugh. Fouled at the plate and off of Nelson, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kavanaugh doing a really good job of changing speeds. You know, when Ari needs to go ahead and reach back and put a little extra mustard on it, she certainly can. But that changeup twice, she's had Allison out front on a swing on her front foot, just trying to catch up to keep that ball alive.
2-2, high and away. Runners will go on the pitch here for Marathon with runners at first and second and 2 outs. So base hit could score a couple here for the Red Raiders.
Delaney Hahn painted on the third base line. She's just a step off of the base as well as off of the line.
3-2, and Hahn will take it, and everybody will be safe. Took her eye off the ball for just a second, and everybody will be safe with bases loaded now and 2 outs for Bridget Salber.
You know, so Steve, as a former third baseman, that play is really tough because when the runner gets a chance to come in motion, they get on top of you as quick as you can. Hahn had an in-between bounce and knew even if she fielded it clean, she needed to go ahead and find that base back at third. She definitely was thinking third as opposed to throw across the diamond. I think as she gets a little bit older or perhaps a little bit more comfortable, she'll realize that I can field that thing cleanly and make that throw across. But she was thinking step on third where she was positioned the whole way, and I think that was kind of one of the challenges. So anyway, 1 ball, no strikes. Now bases full here in the top of the 5th inning, 2 outs.
There's a strike to Salber. And it's 0-2 here. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Kavanaugh trying to work out of it here. Ari wheels and deals. Just a bit outside, 1-2. Bridget Salber trying to come through big here for the Red Raiders. Had a hit in the first. Ground out in the third.
Ari trying to shake the Dykes Cup and say Yahtzee to see if she can get the Royals out of it.
1-2, grounded over to Vollert. Underhands it to Moss, and that'll end the 5th inning. No runs on a hit. An error, and there were 3 left on. We have played 4.5. It is 7-0 Assumption. Be back after this quick break. Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
All right, welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids. It'll be Norton, Stofflet, and Moss for the Royals. Reminder, today's broadcast brought to you in part by Key Savings Bank. Unlock the best home, auto, commercial, and personal loans in the Rapids area at Key Savings Bank. No matter what you're financing, Key Savings Bank has the personal touch to put you at ease. Dream big, small rates. Key Savings Bank.
Key Savings Bank.
Werner back out there to Jess Norton, who ground out. No, that's Lydia. Never mind. Ground out and a fly out today for Jess.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Werner is also just a sophomore for the Raiders.
That was going to be line to right. There's a base hit for Jess. It said 2026 on her bio, so whatever that is.
That's a sophomore. So. nice piece of hitting by Jess Norton, who went ahead and stayed home on a outside pitch and drove it to the opposite field.
Kylie Carroll going to come in. Kylie Carroll, the flex player, is coming in to run for Assumption here with nobody out.
One of the benefits of having a flex player is you're able to have them enter the ball game to run for a player. They can also play a defensive position, just not in your batting lineup. So the flex for the DP.
Perfect.
If you're scoring at home.
Lexi Stofflet, who doubled her last time up, looks at a ball high, and it's 1-0. Had a rocket to right center field her last time up. Did Lexi Stofflet.
Stofflet been another. So many of these young Royals have stepped up and had a really nice season. Steve Stofflet included. Does a nice job playing. Started off the year in right, now has moved over to the left for Coach Nelson, Coach Schill. I think that'll probably depend on maybe matchup and how they're going to pitch. And with the bat, she's really added a nice value of some timely hits for the Royals. 3 balls, no strikes. Bottom of the 5th inning. Royals ahead 7-0 here at Robinson Park over the Marathon Red Raiders. Riley Warner.
Yep.
On the mound. And now we've got runners on first and second. So Carroll on second base following the hit by Norton as she came in as a flex for the runner. Stofflet on first base. And that brings up first baseman number 33, Madison Moss.
Moss struck out in the second, and then Jaglinski came in to pinch hit, and she laid down a bunt. First one to Moss is lined into left field, and they're going to send Carroll. The throw from Hilke is not going to be made. An RBI base hit there for Madison Moss.
Really a nice piece of hitting by Madison Moss. Came up, took the first strike that she had, drove it between the third baseman and shortstop. Kylie Carroll did a nice job of going ahead and running from second base to go ahead and put the Royals up 8-0. Runners on first and second, still nobody out. Delaney Hahn now comes up, the number 9 hitter, with Anna Schooley, Ari Kavanaugh, and Claire Nelson waiting on deck.
Bloop single her last time up for Delaney, right behind Schneider at second when the whole infield was in. Now it just looks like Pazek over at first playing in, or she was. Hahn did not score a bunt, so she backed up. The 1-0 to Hahn. Bounces in there, and it's 2-0.
For those that are interested, we talked about tonight about the importance of this game for conference for Assumption. 2-2 over in Stratford. Got to be
fifth or
sixth inning. Looks like Stratford is batting, so it's got to be a home half of the inning. So once again, another competitive ball game between Stratford and Auburndale following Tuesday's Instant Classic.
3-0 misses high, and now the top of the order here coming up for Assumption with the bases loaded and nobody out.
So a base hit here by Anna Schooley could go ahead and could end this particular ball game. Into the game is number 20, Lila Fisher, for the Royals. To come in and pinch hit, to come in and pinch run, and she is running for
Lexi Stofflet. First offering to Schooley, misses for a ball. One swing of the bat, and this one could be over here this afternoon from Wisconsin Rapids. We're in the bottom of the 5th, bases loaded, 8-0 Assumption with nobody out. There's a high one, just misses a bit high, and it's 2-0.
2 balls, no strikes, no outs, 5th inning. Royals up 8-0. Anna Schooley at the plate with the bases full, looking to go ahead and give Assumption their 5th conference win of the year. Swept Edgar.
I think so, yep.
This would be a sweep over Marathon, and they split with Auburndale.
Yep.
That sounds about right. So Newman Catholic and Stratford obviously yet to go. But, again, I think if you ask Coach Schill and Coach Nelson, would you take 5-1 after 6 conference games? I think they would say, heck yes, they would.
Schooley fouls it at the plates.
Again, not to count any chickens in terms of where it goes. Baseball, softball is a strange game where unusual things can happen. But if Assumption can go ahead and hang on here, what a terrific start for the Royals, who will extend an impressive winning streak as they've gone Pacelli, Laconia, Rib Lake, Pacelli, Laconia, Marathon in the last week.
This is high and away.
And a Schooley with eyes like an eagle.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
I had no patience at the plate. I swing at everything. I was like the old Signs character. I just swing away. It didn't feel right not to swing the bat. So.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out to Schooley. And it's going to rip that one foul and out of play down the left field line, and it remains full, 3-2.
And Schooley did a nice job scoring up on it, and unfortunately she was just a little bit out in front of it.
Base is full of Royals with nobody out here in the home half of the 5th inning. 8-0 Assumption. Warner fires. Going to be hit past third and just foul. And it remains full at 3-2. And now a teaching opportunity here for Coach Nelson with nobody out. Letting Lila Fisher know that when you lead off at third base, you got to be in foul territory, because if you're in foul territory and it hits you, you're fine. But if you're fair territory, you're out. 3-2 now.
Look at Steve dropping some knowledge on you.
3-2 to Schooley. And it hits her second time that Anna has been hit. And a run comes in to score, and it's 9-0 Assumption.
So base is still full. Kavanaugh coming up to the plate. Royals can go ahead and end it with a run.
Yep, any way that a run scores, then that is how we'll end it here. Ari Kavanaugh at the plate. Again, don't forget our Next Step Prosthetics postgame show. Next Step Prosthetics postgame show will wrap up our broadcast tonight. Have an opportunity to talk to a player or players of the game here from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids.
You know, Marathon, that Next Step Prosthetic always makes me think of when I go back to Marathon and I visit my friend Eileen. She was a one-legged friend of mine that worked at Big Bull Falls Brewery, actually. Yeah, she managed the hops department. So, anywho, on that note, 5th inning, no outs, 9-0 Royals with the lead. You've got Moss on third. Really, it's Moss on third. That's the only run that really matters at this point.
Infield plays in. Kavanaugh dribbles this one to left, and that will do it here from Wisconsin Rapids. RBI base hit for Ari Kavanaugh. We'll walk this one off here this afternoon. Royals score 10. Don't record an out here in the home half of the 5th. They go on to win this one 10-0. We'll have an opportunity to talk to a players, and maybe a coach or two after we come back to Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. 10-0 Assumption. They pick up a conference win, now 5-1 in the Merriwood South here in 2024. Back after this on Zaleski Sports.
For the entertainment you provided for our fans. I didn't hear a lot of clapping.
Hi, I'm Shad from Next Step Prosthetics. 5 years ago, we opened our practice to provide life-changing prosthetics that are both comfortable and functional.
I would definitely recommend Shai.
Shai is very compassionate, caring.
We've grown to serve patients throughout Wisconsin. We want to thank them, their families, and providers who have trusted us on their journey.
Go to Next Step, because it's going to change your life.
Why wait another day? Call to set up a free, no-obligation evaluation. Let us take the next step together towards a better life.
We are on now. Okay. You're on now.
And
just number 2, just go like here.
Yep.
Not too loud.
Okay. So when you're ready to, so I'm on now.
Yep.
And then we'll take a look at it in terms of where it goes. So.
Then just line me up when I get down there.
Sounds good. Can I just take?
That should be fine. Just
Okay.
tell me where to go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yep, you're live. We're good. Yep. We can hear you.
Okay, welcome back to Robinson Field. As tonight the Assumption Royals were victorious in 5 innings over the Marathon Red Raiders, 10-0 here in Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption earns the sweep over the Marathon Red Raiders this year in conference and improves to 5-1 overall. For those that are keeping track of the importance of that particular conference victory, over in Stratford right now, that ball game between Stratford and Auburndale is tied, or as Stratford has now taken a 5-2 lead over Auburndale in, it's either got to be the 5th or the 6th inning. So at the end of the evening here, you could find that the Royals could be sitting in first place of conference alone by themselves. Steve Maves down on the field waiting for Coach Nelson and perhaps our highlight house player or players of the game. We'll see who Steve grabs. Again, a nice competitive ball game here at Robinson Park for between these two teams. And again tonight, a very special night for the two, as the Royals and the Raiders took an opportunity to honor the community with Lucy Vanette going ahead and losing her life in a car accident. So went ahead and honored her tonight with a moment of silence, a 50-50 raffle, and an opportunity to take a look at it. And the teams are now going to get together for a picture talking about how the communities came together for the Pittsville communities, which is pretty outstanding. Okay, Steve has got Coach Nelson first, but right now the two teams are getting together and are going to do a picture as they go ahead and again honor, celebrate the life of the Pittsville ball player who tragically passed away in a car accident. Again, the best of sportsmanship here from Marathon and Assumption. Two extremely classy programs, two communities that are truly caring and giving, really a touching gesture as they go ahead and continue to honor Lucy's memory with this celebration. Yeah, again, what a classy move by both programs. Coach Fredrickson from Marathon and Coach Schill and Coach Nelson, just very impressive all the way across the way. So, okay, let's go ahead and let's go out to Coach Steve Maves, who's with Charlie Nelson.
Here. Good. All right. Welcome back to Robinson Park here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals pick up another conference sweep over the Marathon Red Raiders, 10-0 tonight here with one of the head coaches, Charlie Nelson. Coach, we talked about it during the broadcast, and we talked about it from the beginning of the year, just the growth of this team, the growth of the freshmen. Just talk about that a little bit.
Just a real one day at a time approach here, right? We're trying to get wins, we're trying to figure that out, but most importantly, we're just trying to get better every day, whether it's practice, whether it's games. I mean, we didn't have the best approach at the plate the other night at Marathon, and we worked really hard on it yesterday. And I don't know how many strikeouts we had tonight, but it wasn't a ton, and they worked really hard on that. Two strike at bats.
Yeah, and top it from 1 through 9, and getting the job done at the plate, in the field, on the base paths, just the growth, and just talk a little bit about the freshmen at first, just the growth they've had the last 4 weeks.
Well, our first 5 games, they were a little deer in the headlights look to them, as things got pressured and things got fast, but they're slowly picking up the pace, they're picking up the speed, and most importantly, they're just doing the work. And you're going to talk to a senior here pretty soon, our only one, and she's a pretty good leader. She's done a real good job getting these girls understanding how we want to play and the things we want to do.
We mentioned it before the game, obviously everything going on. You guys were able to dedicate the game. Both teams come together, both communities come together here. You said it right before we went on. Playing softball is a luxury to a lot of people, and when things happen like they did a couple of weeks ago, really puts things into perspective.
100%. Father of 4 daughters. I mean, I can't even pretend to imagine what that poor family and that poor community is going through. So, anything we can do to bring a little joy and just remember somebody that lost their life way too soon is, it's a bare minimum for us. So. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Mark Smith.
Bringing Lydia Smits here for the Assumption Royals. As Coach Nelson just mentioned, the lone senior on this team, of course. And he has just mentioned it. Obviously, a lot of freshmen, a lot of new faces this year. Just talk about the role that you've had to become the role that you're in now as a senior.
Well, it's been tough. I mean, the 4 seniors that left last year really had big shoes that I had to fill, and it's been so fun and so great to be a leader from these kids that I didn't know very well at the beginning of the season, and we've really created a strong bond, and that's huge to being a good team. So
we talked about it from the first game to now. The middle of the field have Claire behind the plate, Macy and Ari in the middle or pitching, Macy or Ari at second, Anna at short, and you in center, and then the freshmen on the corners. Just talk about how much confidence that gives you in center field. Obviously, you've been out there a long time, knowing that the middle of the field is covered, and the freshmen are learning right along.
Yeah, well, I mean, the girls that I've been playing with my whole being in high school, they're very good, as you know. I mean, I can totally trust them, and I have full confidence that they will do well. And then that's great for the young ones to see that and use them as role models too. It's huge, and that's what helps us as a team.
I just talked to Coach Nelson about it. Obviously, softball at times is a luxury to play, and obviously everything that happened with Lucy and the Pittsfield community. Just talk about how much it means to have both communities, both teams come together to dedicate a game to a young lady.
It's huge. It's just a terrible thing that happened, and I think Charlie said, this is the least that we could do to celebrate her life and just to honor her.
All right, we're going to put you in the house, okay?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll get out of the way so it
Okay.
won't hurt me. That thing is loose. So
Okay.
Hold on. Good pull. All right, go ahead.
I am Lydia Smits, and I'm in the house. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, we're going to sign things off here from Robinson Park in Wisconsin Rapids. Royals sweep the series against Marathon here this year, 7-2 Tuesday, 10-0 here tonight. And again, the communities of Marathon and Assumption coming together raised over $400 for Lucy Vanetta and her family, and the city and town of Pittsville. Again, not just these schools, Columbus Catholic and Rib Lake did it on Monday. All over the central Wisconsin area, teams dedicating their games, and one more here tonight from Wisconsin Rapids. For Paul Jaglinski, this is Steve Mave signing off from Wisconsin Rapids. Have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you on Saturday morning here on Zaleski Sports.